Hello, welcome to the Elevate Your Soul podcast. Today I want to talk to you guys about labeling and why labeling people and things isn't always a good thing. It's just something we do out of habit. And it's something that we love doing because our brains just love putting people and things into boxes. It helps us feel secure and safe and makes us feel like we have a better understanding of who we're dealing with. Therefore, we're safer because we're not at risk for any unwanted surprises from anyone or any certain scenario. So when we label things, and especially people, it actually is coming from a place of fear and not from a place of love. As I said, it's, when we label people, we do it so that we feel like we know what's next and we know what they're going to do. And so our brain can put them in little boxes so that we feel safe and secure, which isn't coming from a place of love because we are no longer allowing that person to be their full expression because we are putting attachments and labels and expectations on them, which in the end is going to lead yourself to being disappointed. Any expectation in life is basically setting yourself up for disappointment. So when you're doing that in other people, whether you're aware of it or not, when you're labeling other people, you're placing expectations on them. Sometimes people can get so caught up in labels and labeling others, you get so tunnel visioned that you no longer allow yourself to see things as they really are. So labeling in a sense can be good to help explain things to other people that may not know someone or know what's going on, but at the same time it can be pretty dangerous and someone can just go off in their own little reality and not really see things as they really are. Some examples of labeling people to help us better understand them is our sexuality. So when we say that someone is bisexual or gay or straight, the only reason we do this and we feel the need to label them is so that we know what to expect and so that there won't be any unwanted surprises. So we like to know and we like to ask people, are you bisexual, are you gay, or are you straight? So that they say if they're gay and you're someone of the opposite sex, you're like, great, I have nothing to worry about. Or if someone's straight and you're the same sex as someone, then you're like, great, I don't need to worry about this person hitting on me. It's just like comforting your fear of the unknown. And it's also not allowing that other person to just be fully authentic and to be themselves. Because if someone labels themselves or someone else labels them as straight, then that person, how can they feel like they can be attracted to someone or make a move on someone who is the same sex as them without being afraid to lose their label of them being straight? And how can someone who is gay, who others see as gay and label someone as gay, or even when they label themselves as gay, how are they able to allow themselves to find someone of the opposite sex attractive or make a move on them without being afraid to lose their label as gay? It's the same thing with certain dietary requirements or dietary lifestyle choices, such as being a vegan or someone who is paleo or someone who is keto or sugar-free or whatever. If someone's labeling you or you're labeling yourself and you're going around telling everybody that you are vegan, you're basically putting expectations on yourself, from yourself, and other people that you will never ever eat another animal product in your life. Or same thing as when you're paleo. It's like if you're really craving some carbs, or you're going to the cinemas and you just really want some popcorn, it's like, oh no, I can't have a handful of popcorn because then everybody's going to think I'm not paleo anymore, and I don't want to lose this label of being paleo. Or religion, if someone's Christian or Buddhist or Catholic, it's also us placing these expectations and adjectives and ideas of how this person's lifestyle is and what their values are and who they are and what their family's like and what they like and what they dislike. And if someone's spiritual or really into yoga and meditation practices, it's like that would be the last person you'd expect to be interested in heavy metal music or twerking their ass off. And if someone is a goth or a hippie, you automatically start to judge them and think, okay, this is what this person's friends must look like, and this is what this person must do on the weekends, and this is what car they must drive, and this is the clothes they wear, and blah, 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 blah. It's this stupid comfort we have that's coming from a place of fear where we like to put ourselves in labels, and people who tend to put themselves in a label tend to label and judge others a lot more as well. So when you say you're a goth or you're a hippie or whatever, then you're basically saying, this is the type of music I listen to, this is what kind of food I eat, this is the way I dress, blah, 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 blah. You're placing all these expectations on yourself, and you feel like you're obliged to live a certain lifestyle or a certain way in order to obtain a certain label that you're wanting to hold on to, which is probably you just coming from a place of fear because your ego wants to attach you to some label that you think is cool, that will make you feel more significant in the society you're in, or make you feel welcome and part of a certain group or a certain lifestyle so that you feel like you fit in. Or as I said, the opposite, it'll make you feel more special and more significant, so you'll get more attention. So this is all kind of like ego-based thing, and it's driven from the ego of what do I want to label myself as and what can I label other people as so that I feel comfortable that I know this person and that I can put them in a box so that I won't have any unwanted surprises, and so that I am clear and aware and known of everything and everyone that is in my life, so I can feel safe and stable, and everything that I think is real and every label that I put on everyone, this person is going to oblige to and become. And if anyone goes outside this labels, I'm going to totally freak out, or I'm just going to totally ignore the fact that it's actually happening and still put them and shove this person into this little category and into this little box, because we don't like being proven that we are wrong in life. So once we make a decision about someone and once we put a label on them, we want to keep them in that little box or that little category because we hate the fact that we may be wrong sometimes. For an example, what if you met someone who told you that every single week they changed their diet and their lifestyle from vegan one week to paleo the next week and then to keto the next week, and then binge drank one week and then was alcohol-free and drug-free the next week? You'd be like, oh my God, this person has like no sense of identity. This person's like driving me crazy. And like, what if this person was like Catholic one week and then atheist the next week, and then like dressed like a goth one week, and then just like a hippie the next, and then was like bisexual for a year, and then gay for a year, and then straight for a year? Sometimes that can be really frustrating for other people to grasp. They're just like, oh my God, this person's all over the show, this person's all over the place, I just can't stand them. And it actually irritates some people. And the people who it irritates are the people who have that fear of identity, and they're wanting to put labels and people and things into boxes so that they feel safe. So they're usually people who don't have a lot of security or consistency in their life. So in order to feel like they have a sense of understanding and safety and control in life, they put people into boxes and they label others so that they feel safe. So what we really need to learn to do is train our brains and unwire our brains not to constantly shove and push people into boxes and categories, and stop labeling people. Just be completely open-minded and get to know people for who they are without attaching labels to them, without saying, oh, this is Sam, he's XYZ, and Marissa is ABC, and they're always going to be like this because this is how I've labeled them. And then when they do something that doesn't match the label that you've put on them, you just get really confused or frustrated, or you just completely avoid the fact that it's actually happened, which either case is not a good thing. And it's also being quite disrespectful to somebody else as well, without you even being aware of it. If you're putting labels on other people, especially people who don't want to label themselves. So if people never say what label they are, as if they don't tell you what their sexuality is or their religion is or their lifestyle or whatever, it's even worse if you start labeling that person because they're standing up for themselves and saying, I don't want to be put in a box and I don't want to be put in a label. And for you to do that to someone else, you're putting them in a box, you're putting them in a category, you're placing expectations on them, and that's not fair. And you shouldn't be doing the same with yourself either. Stop labeling yourself, stop putting yourself in a little category just so that you feel like you fit in your little circle of friends, or so that you feel that you can stand out to get more attention and be more significant. Just allow yourself to detach from any label and any positive feelings or thoughts you have towards a certain label, or negative thoughts and feelings you have towards other labels. Just allow yourself and allow others to come and go and express themselves as they please in any way they want, at any time that they want. And in order to do this, you really need to start and practice with yourself. So be kind, be gentle, be understanding of yourself, and know that you are a human being experiencing life, and you have every right to mold and to blend and to be fluid and just change and do whatever you want as you go through life. You don't have to do a certain thing or be a certain way to fit in any fucking category or wear any certain label. Just be yourself, and that's all that fucking matters. You need to really check yourself and be careful on who and what and why you are labeling others and also yourself, and not get trapped and stuck on this label. Like, who gives a shit if a guy wants to wear makeup or a girl doesn't want to shave? That doesn't mean you're no longer male or female. Every person has many different sides to them, and when you label someone and put them in boxes and categories, it places this very narrow judgment of them and doesn't fully allow you to accept who they fully and truly are. I'm not saying that you can never ever describe someone or a thing or an experience because then you're labeling it or judging it. I'm just saying become aware of how often you're doing it, because it's not healthy to constantly label people, because in a way, labeling is also judging. When you do label someone or something to describe something, make sure it is coming from a good, warm place. And always, always remember there is guaranteed to be a flip side of it, because humans aren't one-dimensional. Humans are not this, on this one track, oh, I'm good, so therefore I'll never do anything bad. And I am easygoing, so I will never ever want to do something my way and put my foot down. People always have a flip side. So it's really hard in general to label someone and stick with that. So when you are labeling to help describe something or someone and get your viewpoint across, just remember Don't attach yourself or that person to that label, and remember that there is always a flip side to that as well, and be prepared for that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. If you want to get in touch with me, as always, please send me a message. I love hearing from you. And if you find these podcasts helpful in any way and you think that somebody you know might benefit from hearing this, please send these podcasts out to your friends, your family, your lovers, and share this information and knowledge with others. I hope you all have a fantastic week and are able to go through your days with possibly limiting the amount you label and judge other people. I love you guys. Ciao.